Hebrews chapter 6. Therefore, let's leave behind the child's understanding about Christ and move on to real comprehension and maturity, not starting from scratch with relearning to avoid self-destructive behaviors and to trust God, the basics of how to baptize, how to lay on hands, the truth of the resurrection, and the final conclusion to sin. And with God's help, we will succeed. It is impossible for those whose minds have been enlightened with the truth about God, those who have tasted the goodness of heaven, who have participated in the spirit of truth and love, who have experienced how good are God's ways and the revitalizing power of the future age, to be restored to health and God's original ideal if they reject all this. For they reject the only remedy, and no other cure exists. Their loss pierces the heart of God all over again as they spurn his never-ending love. Land that receives the rain and produces a bountiful harvest, which nurtures those who farmed it, receives the blessing of God. But land that receives the rain and produces thorns and thistles is useless and is in danger of being abandoned. In the end, it will be burned. Dear friends, even though we speak of the pain of loss, in your case we are confident of all the benefits that are part of God's healing plan. God is not arbitrary or unjust. He knows full well how much you love him by the work you have done in helping his people. We want each of you to continue to diligently practice love and beneficence to the very end, and your healing will be sure. Don't let your guard down and become lazy, but be like those who, through constant trust and patient experience, healing of the mind and the promises of God. When God made his promise to Abraham, there was no one greater than himself to guarantee the promise, so he guaranteed it himself, saying, "I will absolutely bless you and give you a multitude of descendants." And Abraham trusted God and waited patiently until he received what was promised. People will swear by someone greater than themselves that what they say is true, and the oath is supposed to guarantee that what they said was true and put an end to any further dispute. Because God didn't want any doubts, because God wanted those who are heirs of his promised redemption to be certain about the unchanging nature of his methods, principles, and character of love, he confirmed it with his own word. He did this so that by two utterly unchangeable things, the word of God and the character of God, we, homeless runaways, might take heart and grasp the hope that is in Jesus. We have this hope in God, based on the truth revealed by Jesus, as a firm and secure anchor for our entire being. Our minds enter into the reality of God, hidden behind the veil of Satan's lies, where Jesus, who went ahead, has entered to show us the way. He has become a heavenly guide, a high priest forever, in the order of Melchizedek.